Hello, guys, and welcome to episode number 8 of The Journey. We have gone through 8 episodes now, or 7 episodes now, about from the start up and how we've really built some quick momentum. You know, from when I started my course to having 55 members. And now what we touched on in episode 7 was moving into our first place, 115 square meters. We talked about an eye-opener with the solicitor and so much more. So what I wanted to talk about in episode 8 was simply the first 2 to 3 months in that first spot. As we talked in the last episode, we talked about financing, and then you got to add the insurance onto that, going through those insurance papers, creating, the right bank accounts, going through gym software, setting some gym software up, so much. And I probably didn't realize it then, but I do look at it now, and those things that I set up, I would probably take 3, 4, 5 months now to do it properly, but we were trying to get in as fast as we can, get these things up and running fast, going from a scrapbook with notes on it more so to something to keep track of. So, Google Drives or documents, and being able to keep these things. Accountancy became serious now, tracking your accounts as well. So there was a lot was happening, and it was a legitimate business now. I'm not referring to businesses that don't have a space aren't legit. I'm not saying that, but when you have the pressure of paying your rent, paying your finances, paying so many bills, when your outgoings are obviously crept up a lot from pretty much nothing to a lot now, things had to be taken seriously. I started to open myself up to a little bit more about learning and educating through other people, being open to that. I was probably had a lot of resentment to education and learning through school, and my bad experiences at school within myself and just not working at school. And then, so I was open to learning off people, Jack Delos's, Travis Jones, people that come to mind that have really helped me and ignited my entrepreneurial traits within me, and the lessons that I've learned have come from those two guys. So we got set up, got the equipment in, you deck out the floor and you get the logo up, you get the sled track down, and you want to have your open day. So you have your open day, you have people come in, and I guess the vibe and the hype was high for the first couple of months, or for the first 2 months. This young kid taking it to the next step. People wanted to come in. It was a place for the young kids to come, the young people to come and connect. And, we had some amazing older members as well that were there with us, and it was really cool. But then that also fades. I had some realizations that I had to be proactive in chasing people. And it was something new for me for so long, for the start of my business. People were just coming to me. I was just being myself and people were coming to me, and nothing changed from that. But I guess the show and the commodity of it all, and it fades, and people move on, and that's fine. So I had to be proactive in finding people. Marketing became a thing for once, and I had to have strategy towards that. So we got underway, and the members kept rolling in. It was fantastic. We implemented a new membership, the unlimited style. So we had 1 session a week, which was X amount, 2, and then unlimited. And it was really good. We didn't have weeks off anymore because we needed cash flow to stay up. We couldn't afford to have 2 weeks off in between. So we kept that cash flow rolling in. We had added more classes, and as we touched on, we had more members. Our average class sizes were like 16, so we've gone from like 10 classes now to like 20 classes, so we've doubled in that. We've brought on new equipment, and everything's going great. We brought on Lauren, our first trainer, and everything was amazing. Everything was going really, really good. I had some lessons in there, and I'm going to throw some pictures in there if I can find some of my first desk set up out the back in the kitchen. And then a 290 square meter place pops up right next door for lease, and as things were going really, really great within this first space, and we had like one class that sits out that was sort of like made me want to observe and look into the place next door. I turned up and there was like 40 people in the class. I was like, oh shit, where'd everyone come from? So that was really good. And so I started to look into this place, and you have to take these things pretty serious. And this is what we're going to be touching on in episode 9. But essentially, I won against a lot of words, and I went for it. We went into, and we had the lease signed. We had a 1-year lease, and we would get started in around March 2017. So this time it's about November, December. I would take my first holiday in about 2.5, 3 years with Tay. And we would go on a road trip, and I would come back and we would move into our first place, which I can't wait to share with you guys over the next episodes 9, 10, 11 about that place. The journey that I went through, the learnings that I went through, the dark places I went through. And so much growth happened within the next 18 months that it takes me by surprise how I handled it and how I coped with it now. But just that level of resilience that I had to have to get through those 18 months. And that's what we're going to start to dive into in episode 9, guys. So thank you for tuning into episode 8. For everything from our first place. We're only in there for 6 months, but it was a great 6 months. We grew, and I took on our next opportunity where we would move into 290 square meters next door, which I can't wait to bring to you.